Welcome back to another exciting episode of Phoenix Wright, Justice for All. In the last episode, we managed to get the killer on the stand, and he said Adrian was his client as he is saying it right now. One thing I can simply not overlook is tampering with the scene of the crime. My client did it to frame another for the crime, while pretending to be the first person to discover the body and enter the scene. Adrian Andrews already knew from the very beginning that Juan Corradilla was dead. But even more appalling is the creation and planting of the knife and button. That act is what I was referring to when I said my client had broken the rules. Really now? This is the most unexpected turn of events. For the, fifth time now? However, this time everything has finally been revealed. Just a second, Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? I'm clicking it. We still have the cross-examination to do. But you don't need to question testimony like this, do you, Mr. Wright? Your Honor, the defense will question the witness, as if I have a choice here. Huh? Why? What this witness has said is nothing but beneficial to the defense's case. If you scrutinize the testimony, then I'll expose the lies in that oh-so-beneficial testimony, I suppose. I don't understand what's going on anymore. That makes two of us. Alright, let's get this started. What is it, Mr. Wright? If I press him the wrong way, it might raise suspicions on his end. But I have to do something to waste more time. Witness, about requesting a hit? Yes? How much is your fee? I see you're also quite a dark-hearted man, Mr. Attorney. Huh? If you would like to talk business, we can do so after the trial. No. I'm not thinking of hiring... Mr. Wright! Yes? You want to kill me! You want me dead, don't you? What? No, why would I think something like that, Your Honor? Guilty! Mr. Phoenix Wright, you are hereby declared guilty! Witness... Let's continue. Why did you disclose the name of your client? They are your client, are they not? Damn. I would think that most people wouldn't be able to overlook a person hiring another to kill. If I had a problem with such a thing, I wouldn't be very effective at my job. Yeah. Well, a change in occupation may be good for you. However, I will say this. Even though I am the one that does the deed, my clients are always the real guilty party. That goes without saying, Mr. The Killer. And their fate is to live with the knowledge of their guilt on their shoulders. However, my client this time thought they could escape. They could run away from their guilt. Are you talking about the button of the knife? Yes, and my business card. Oh, this card. So that no one has to waste their time, including the police, I always make it a point to make things as easy as possible. You try to make things easy? My business card makes it very easy to identify who carried out the service. He's pretty devoted to his work. But to disregard everything and to go and stab the deceased with a knife, and even hide my card from sight, that is something I cannot overlook. It's really hard to tell if he's being truthful or not without him being here. True. While pretending to be the first to discover the body and enter the scene. So you're saying most clients wouldn't do such a thing? That is correct. Usually, most people try to create an alibi for themselves. If you should use my services, Mr. Attorney, I would suggest you plan for your alibi too. No, I already told you I have no intentions of ever using your services. Why does he keep looking at me as if I'm the one on trial here? From the very beginning? That is correct. From before my client visited the room, all of my clients know precisely what the situation is at all times. I wonder if that's really true. odd. So why do you think your client did that? What do you mean by why? Well, fiddling around at the scene of the crime is pretty risky. And why would someone who has requested a murder go to the crime scene anyway? That is true. I assume it was probably done to frame Mr. Ingarde. If that's the case, then why didn't the person just request that you do it? Sadly, that is not possible. My job is to kill, that is all, and to leave my business card behind, naturally. The business card is so my clients may escape blame. To protect them is my duty. Even if they say it's for the revenge, setting someone else up to take your fall. And that's all you have to testify? Yes, and I pray that I will never be called to the stand again. Again? As in you plan to continue? I must, as I have yet to find a person to take my place and become the fourth successor. Actually, how would you like a new life, Mr. Attorney? Excuse me? No, I'm fine, really. Are you really now? You gotta be very careful about how we approach this because, we actually came across a contradiction. They gave you a hint, right about here. Thank you so much for taking the time to testify, Mr. DeKiller. What's the meaning of that attitude? When Adrian Andrews entered the victim's room, your client had no idea that Juan Corradilla had been murdered. But how do you know that? From this wine glass, Your Honor. The wine glass? Mr. DeKiller's supposed client thought Mr. Corradilla had only fainted, which is why this glass of tomato juice was poured for the victim. But isn't that just a part of Adrian Andrews' calculated plan? That is not possible, Your Honor. This glass bears the fingerprints of that person. Had this been planted, they would have never left their fingerprints behind. I see your point. Mr. Edgeworth, what is your opinion? Strangely enough, I had the same exact thought just now. Witness, how do you explain this strange phenomenon? Isn't it a waste of time to ask about such a minor detail? It's not a very important point anyway, correct? I'm afraid you are mistaken. If Adrian Andrews is really your client, as you claim, then your client should have had knowledge of Mr. Corradilla's death. If not, then that can only mean that Adrian Andrews was never your client at all. How strange. Yes? Why is it that the attorney has yet to raise an objection at this absurd situation? Crap. Phoenix? If the killer figures out what we're up to, we're in real trouble. Yeah, I know. Mr. Edgeworth, I'm surprised. You know that you can't say things like that without any evidence. Ah, sorry. That sounded like an awfully weak objection to me. Anyway, I'm positive here that there was a contradiction in that testimony. The prosecution requests further testimony concerning when the request was taken. Very well. Right now I have to buy us more time. While we wait for the items the killer left behind to get here, I just know that the very outcome of this trial lies with those items. This request came to me, about a week ago. It was a request for my services on the night of the award ceremony. We met at a certain bar to discuss and finalize a few matters. That is what occurred. I trust my memory, and I believe I have made no mistakes. So you physically met your client, huh? That is correct. Meeting one's client is the first step to building trust, in my opinion. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please? I just read that. And we got the Stuff It's Got Real music. 1 week ago, are you sure? Yes, I am quite sure. I, of course, had my own preparations, and was barely able to finish. When you request my services, Mr. Attorney, I hope you will keep that in mind. Please, stop. In any case, my client this time had a very specific date and time in mind. Did you ask why on that specific night? No. I tried to fulfill all the conditions of my client's request. But as for why, I only had my suspicions. Your suspicions, huh? So what are these suspicions you had? Why did your client request that night? I'm sure it was all for the bear. The bear? My client spoke of it. I'm sure there will be a bear-shaped figurine in Juan Corradia's room. I would like you to retrieve that item for me. Inside that figurine was a suicidal note. Naturally, the victim brought it with him to his hotel room. He was planning to publicly disclose its contents at the press conference after all. That is correct. If I had not done the job that night, I would have not known where the bear figurine was. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, was that testimony just now of any importance? Sure. The testimony just now has made one thing clear, and that thing is... the client knew the secret of the bear figurine. Huh? Why is everyone so quiet? Mr. Wright, I think all of us already knew that. Oh, really? Witness, please continue with your testimony. We met at a certain bar to discuss finalize a few minutes. Actually, hold on a second. Sorry about that, just had to take care of something. Anyway... So you physically met Adrian Andrews, right? Of course I did. What was that? What was with that brief pause? Witness, I would like for you to give us a few more details. I always meet my clients as a matter of principle. I have never taken a request by telephone or mail. And why is that? That's because I value the trust of a client and myself above all else. And the only way to establish that is to speak to the client while looking them in the eye. Well, Mr. Wright, was that testimony just now of any importance? No it wasn't actually. Why he meets his client is not important, and that wasn't the point. Witness, please stop sidestepping my questions. What do you mean by that? My question was, did you really meet Adrian Andrews in person? I have already told you, Mr. Wright, I did. It was only through talking with him face to face that I began to trust him. That is when I thought, I can trust this person as a client. True what they say about talking face to face. Well, Mr. Wright, was the testimony just now of any importance? Yes, it was actually. If I heard what I think I heard just now, then I think I've got him. Your Honor, I believe the testimony just now was of the utmost importance. Huh? Really? If that's the case, witness, please include the statement just now in your testimony. Very well. From the moment I saw him, I thought, I can trust this person as a client. Yeah, I don't really think you need any help with that one. I would like to go over this one more time. You met Adrian Andrews at a bar and took the request at that time. Yes, that is correct. And that's when you thought he was trustworthy. How many times must I repeat myself? Yes, that is correct. I'm sorry, but that is impossible, Tale. What? Shelley the Killer. You have never met the real Adrian Andrews? Why would you say that? Because you made one very big slip-up. About her. So what is the issue? What did you just say just now? About her? If you had ever met Adrian Andrews in person... One look would have told her she is a woman! Oh! Order in the court! Mr. Wright, what is the meaning of this? This witness testified to the following. That he always meets face-to-face with his clients when taking their request. But he has never met Adrian Andrews in person. Yes, Your Honor, that is exactly the point. That means Mr. the Killer's client could not have been Miss Adrian Andrews. Mr. Edgeworth, I understand your logic on this one. However, why would the assassin make such a basic mistake? I believe it has to do with her name, Your Honor. Her name? Yes, Adrian Andrews is, without a doubt, a very Andronauta name. Yes, I see. Unluckily for Mr. Killer, the entire time he was on the stand, no one had stated Adrian Andrews' gender. And so, he simply picked the wrong gender to go with. What? What is going on? I don't even know anymore. Shelley the Killer, this court demands an explanation. I think somehow I must have mixed this client up with another. So does that mean you remember something different now? Yes, of course. Please, if you would allow me to testify once more. I know he's just going to spit out more lies. Very well, but this time, please give us the truth, and nothing but the truth.